11,000 people packed Wembley Arena to cheer for a cryptocurrency that did not exist. Not a weak one, or an overhyped one, a completely fake one. And somehow, that fake coin still took in more than $4 billion, spread to more than 175 countries, and turned its founder into one of the FBI's most wanted fugitives. Her name was Ruja Ignatova, and she was very good at looking like the smartest person in the room. Bulgarian-German, polished, PhD, McKinsey on the resume, always dressed like she had just stepped off a private jet and onto a stage. She even landed the cover of Forbes Bulgaria. If you saw her at a conference, you wouldn't think scam, you'd think CEO. The timing helped. This was the mid-2000s, when crypto still confused most people, and even the ones explaining it didn't always sound like they understood it either. If you wanted to turn that confusion into cash, this was a good moment to try. In September 2014, OneCoin launches. Officially, people are buying education packages, and those packages come bundled with tokens that can supposedly be used to mine OneCoins. It sounds technical enough to feel real, but there is no public blockchain doing what a cryptocurrency is supposed to do. OneCoin controls the numbers, controls the exchange, and controls the story. The value isn't being discovered on an open market. It's being presented to members inside a closed system run entirely by the company selling it. And that closed system had a strange advantage. It could feel stable when real crypto felt chaotic, organized when Bitcoin looked messy. For people who found actual crypto intimidating, OneCoin felt like the safer, simpler version. Then the recruiting starts to snowball. OneCoin isn't spreading because engineers fall in love with the code. It spreads because people are told they can change their lives, help their families, and bring friends along for the ride. This is multi-level marketing wrapped in crypto language, and aspiration does the heavy lifting. Jennifer McAdam, a coal miner's daughter from Ayrshire in Scotland, invested her family inheritance, money her father had left her, and then told her friends about it. They invested too and told their friends. Within 3 months, McAdam and the people she'd brought in had lost nearly £220,000 combined. In Uganda, a man named Daniel sold 3 goats and his savings to buy in, after a friend promised him life-changing returns. The scheme reached from affluent neighborhoods in Amsterdam to slums in East Africa, and the pitch worked the same way everywhere. Someone you trusted told you this was your chance. Roadshow after roadshow, country after country, the thing grows. The packages cost as high as 118,000 euros, and much of the educational content inside them is plagiarized from free sources, including Wikipedia. People are paying 6 figures for copy-pasted material and a token that doesn't do anything. Internal company records shown in court pointed to roughly 2.2 billion euros in profit on about 3.35 billion euros in revenue in just 2 years. That kind of margin doesn't happen when you're actually making something. And behind the scenes, the people running it knew exactly what it was. That Forbes Bulgaria cover? Paid promotion. The glossy events, the professional branding, the credentials, all of it was packaging for something that had nothing inside. Court filings cite an email attributed to Ruja that reads, "We are not mining actually, but telling people shit." That one line is the whole scam in 7 words. Meanwhile, the public show keeps getting bigger. That Wembley event was the peak. Ruja walks on stage in front of a roaring crowd, arena lights flashing, fire effects going off behind her, and she tells them with complete conviction, in 2 years, nobody will speak about Bitcoin anymore. The crowd goes wild. It's part concert, part revival meeting, part sales pitch, and for the people in that arena, it probably felt less like a risk than like being early to something historic. Would you have spotted the catch? But a closed world only works while people trust the exits. By early 2017, members start running into trouble with withdrawals as the internal exchange gets restricted. Complaints rise, the mood shifts, and when people think they're rich on paper but can't turn it into real money, the excitement dies fast. Then regulators move in. In April 2017, Germany's BaFin freezes about 29 million euros linked to a OneCoin payment processor and issues cease and desist orders. Banking channels tighten across Europe. Media scrutiny grows. And when things reach this stage, the people at the top usually pick one of two options: explain everything clearly or disappear. On October 25, 2017, Ruja Ignatova boards a Ryanair flight from Sofia to Athens. It's a short, routine flight, the kind nobody remembers taking. She lands, walks out of the airport, and then nothing. No public statement, no dramatic defense, no redemption tour, just silence. At that point, a secret U.S. arrest warrant had already been filed, and she may have known it was coming. She has not been seen in public since. In January 2018, Bulgarian authorities raid OneCoin's Sofia offices at the request of German prosecutors. In India, police go undercover at a recruitment event in Navi Mumbai and arrest 18 people on the spot. A few months later, co-founder Carl Sebastian Greenwood is arrested in Thailand and extradited to the United States. He had been one of the scheme's most aggressive global recruiters. As lead distributor, 5% of all OneCoin sales went directly to him, which added up to over $300 million. Then in March 2019, Ruja's brother, Konstantin Ignatov, is arrested at Los Angeles International Airport. He had taken over as the public face after she disappeared, which is not the kind of promotion anyone wants. He later cooperates with prosecutors, and once insiders start talking, the story stops being rumor and starts being evidence. From there, the case opens up fast. Investigators lay out how the money moved through shell companies, payment processors, and polished professionals who gave everything a cleaner look than it deserved. Former lawyer Mark Scott is convicted in 2019 for laundering hundreds of millions in OneCoin proceeds through funds and corporate structures. Irina Dilkinska, the company's head of legal and compliance, is extradited from Bulgaria in 2023 and pleads guilty later that year. In Mexico, 2 OneCoin promoters who had been recruiting investors through a car sales company traveled to Mazatlan to promote the scheme and were found dead in suitcases on a vacant lot. The cause of death was suffocation. The courts catch plenty of the people around her. Greenwood gets 20 years and is ordered to forfeit $300 million. Scott gets 10 years and $452 million in forfeitures. Dilkinska gets 4 years. Konstantin pleads guilty and cooperates, with sentencing repeatedly deferred. In 2022, the FBI puts Ruja Ignatova on its 10 most wanted fugitives list. The woman who once filled Wembley Arena is now on the same list as cartel leaders and terrorists. Even with freezes and forfeitures, the money recovered is nowhere close to making everybody whole. The $4 billion went in, and most of it is still gone. And Ruja? The last confirmed trace is that Ryanair flight to Athens in October 2017. After that, rumors, theories, reported sightings, but nothing solid. Some investigators believe she may have been killed by associates who wanted to make sure she couldn't talk. Others think she's alive somewhere under a new identity, living off money that was supposed to build futures for people who had a lot less of it. The FBI still has her poster up. The reward is $250,000, which is a lot of money for a tip, and almost nothing compared to what she took. The coin she sold to millions of people never existed, and the woman who sold it might not exist anymore either. Enjoyed this story? Leave a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. Now you know.